Hey guys, this is Brad at Via Artisans Furniture and Woodcraft, and I wanted to share something with you that I've been working on in the shop this week. It's a little bit different from what we normally do, but I had a customer call me earlier last week and describe a cutting board that was given to a relative of hers while they were on a mission trip in Africa over 50 years ago. And she described this cutting board on the phone, and normally we don't do refurbish or repairs on furniture or especially cutting boards for the most part, but I just couldn't let it go based on the story that she told me, because obviously this thing has got tremendous sentimental value to her family, and I just couldn't say no, and I wanted to be a part of refinishing this. And so this thing is really unique. Best I can tell, and from what the client told me, it's made out of a wood called moninga. It's an African wood, native to Africa. It'd be exotic to us here in the States. But this wood, being 50 years old, is straight as an arrow and hard as a rock. And I don't think it's moved an inch since the day it was put together. And one of the other really interesting things about this that I wanted to share with you, that's pretty rare, and I didn't know that I was getting into when I found it, but as I pulled this thing apart and separated into individual boards so that I could re-glue it back together, I discovered that this thing wasn't even put together with glue. This thing was held together for 50 years or over 50 years with nails. And I'll show you what I pulled out of the inside of this cutting board. These are nails that are cut in half and that were placed as pins in marked positions to join all these boards together. Alright, so I'm going to flip this over, and while I'm oiling the other side, I'll tell you a little bit about what I did to this board. And it's pretty much in the shape it was when I got it. I didn't change the shape of it at all. It's about 1/8 of an inch narrower than it was before, because what I basically had to do was pry the individual boards apart, and I needed to do that so we could get a good solid clean edge on each one of the boards so we could re-glue it together and take those nails out. And then after we did that, we just ran the boards through the planer and took about a 1/64 of an inch off the top to kind of remove all the old dirt and grime that was caked on there. Glued it back together, sanded it down, had to scrape it a little bit with my hand joiner to get it all trued and level, and then just sanded it down back to this beautiful wood that you see here. And that's pretty much all there was to it. I tried to keep as much of the original craftsmanship and not try to add anything to it, because there really wasn't anything that I could add to it. I guess I could have routed a profiled edge on it, or done some inlay into it, but something that's as beautiful as this, sometimes better not to mess with. Again, so here's your restored 50-year-old African moninga wood cutting board, and it's ready for another 50 to 100 years worth of use. This thing's not coming apart anytime soon. And you know, it's a good reminder that a lot of times we see something that's old and maybe coming apart at the seams, and we immediately jump to wanting to break it apart, bust it into pieces, and reclaim it into something different. But a lot of times the best thing you can do to reclaim something is just to restore it to what it was originally meant to be. So we had a lot of fun with this and just wanted to share it with you. If you want a family heirloom cutting board of your own, I don't make them in Africa, and I don't make them out of moninga wood, although I guess I could. But you can go to www.viaartisans.com. You can see all the different cutting boards we make, and if you want us to make one custom for you, we'd be more than happy to do that. Thanks.